If you're looking for professional day trading education and high level trade analysis and dissection, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I've been a professional day trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to bring you exactly that professional day trading education, all here for free on YouTube and on X. And tonight, we've got a banger of a lesson. I hope you all had a great day. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to fire up these charts. Let's rock and roll. Okay, folks, I hope you all had a good one. We're going to go over just one chart today. You'll normally notice that we have Qs up, but only took a trade on SPY. Took a couple of trades, actually. And for those of you that are just joining us, these blue levels indicate the technical levels at which we will execute our trades on. And these are placed prior to the market open. This isn't marking out some sort of level or some sort of range. Intraday, these are the levels at which we develop trade plans. And then we have contingency plans in case these levels don't want to hold. And it basically shows how we would manage the position. So basically, first thing this morning, our trade plan was to take this level short and essentially risk off of this. It is 1 point of risk. Okay, so very simple and straightforward. The market opens up, pushes up into this first level, execute the trade coming into the level, and then simply just waited. There was an opportunity to pay myself as it came right back down and it held this first level of support, which is natural. And when it holds that high level of natural support, it's kind of an issue. It's telling you be prepared because this can squeeze out. So that's why you're going to see a secondary exit on that trade when it was available. Now, if I see that there is risk involved and I'm reading the chart, I'm going to pay attention to it. So I will size down in the trade. And then I will simply be patient for it to come into the opening price of pre-market, which is right there. It's indicated by a very light blue level that you probably can't see on your screens or monitors or cell phones. For those that are watching on cell phones, you probably can't see that, but it's there. And then I would simply take my next ad coming up into my risk area. So as it comes up into that level, execute the secondary trade, execute, and then immediately get rewarded. Now, if you take a look at these entries, that entry was at about 90 cents on the 671 puts. And from lows to highs on this, that's about a 40, 45%, possibly even 50% ROI trade in 1 minute. That's how amazing this truly is. There's nothing else on the planet that you would be able to pull profits and make 50% your money in this short amount of time. Now, I'm not saying that that happens all the time, but it is a beautiful trade. And basically on this, what I really want to talk about is, working and respecting that trade plan. A lot of times when people get involved in trades, and they don't get that immediate resolution, what they'll do is they'll bail. They're going to bail on their trade plan. Now, that's why we design and form these trade plans prior to the action, okay? Because the reason why you're going to do that is, number one, being prepared. But number two, it's so then you're not deviating and making decisions based off of emotion, right? Based off of one specific candle or whatever you're seeing on that chart. Now, I'm not saying to ignore what you're reading on the chart, but there's a lot of you where you're at. That's why you're watching YouTube videos on how to day trade, where your price action reading probably isn't quite up to that professional snuff, right? So it is always best. And I basically made a deal with myself years ago that no matter what, I'm working that trade plan. That trade plan needs to be respected, even if it's not giving me the follow through that I want. If it doesn't pull, the trade is not over and I need to continue to work it. So when you do, and you do follow your trade plan, you get rewarded. Far too many times I'll see people get out here, freak out because it doesn't want to pull back because it doesn't fit their fucking time frame. Well, I got a little bit of a secret for you. Like, the market really doesn't give a shit about your time frame and your needs or your wants. So in order to find that workaround, that's why we follow strategy. We follow predetermined trade plans that are designed prior to the market open. Okay. Now, there might be a lot of you that don't know how to come up with those trade plans prior to the market, and that's fine. That's why it's important to get help and learn from somebody that can show you. So there was one more entry, and simply just rode this position out, was actually waiting to get stopped out here because I didn't have many left at this point, and I don't want it to continue squeezing up against me and basically draw down that profit that I already worked hard to achieve. So I wanted, what the trade plan was, to allow it to come up, and then the next viable entry would be when it does this. Okay. So right into there, once it's proven that it does not want to hold that support. So it did start setting up that way. And I was able to get one more trade off. So once it slammed all the way down and came back up, there was an opportunity right in here to get in. Now, it ended up pulling, and it came up again, and it pulled one more time, but it was holding. So once it starts doing that, as it's coming up, I'm just looking for an exit because I'm no longer holding a sufficient amount of contracts in order to really be messing around with it. Like, there's no point if you're holding such a small amount of contracts or shares in a position, like, you don't want it to grind up against you. Oops. You don't want it to grind up against you. Like, for what reason? What are you going to really get out of that? So the drawdown isn't worth it. So you simply get out. So I locked in $2,424 on that. And the majority of that was done within the first 15 minutes of the market open. And that's it. So I hope you all had a wonderful week. Just as a heads up, just taking a look at the number of you that come in on Fridays, although I really appreciate that. I think this will be my last week doing live recaps on Fridays. I just don't think I'm going to do it anymore. I've got a million other things I could be doing. And that's not to take away from you guys, the real motherfuckers out there that actually come in and do the work. But I think Monday to Thursday we'll do a recap. But I think from now on, it's just a disappointment when members are they're just so unserious about this. So I don't want to ramble too much, but I do appreciate you guys that come in and watch this. But I will see you next week from Monday to Thursday, and we'll wrap our week up on Thursday here on YouTube. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Have a good one. Adios.